Okay, what I want to record here is, okay, so let's just step through the trade all the way through, right? So we had a couple of, here, I don't need this headset. I don't know why I have it on. There we go. So, okay. Number one, as we were coming in, right, we triggered along right here, and I took the 50-60 retrace. I missed my scale by a tick. Okay, and here's the pain of it as well. I hate looking at myself. I don't know if anyone else has that issue, but apparently vanity doesn't suit me well. So here's the issue. Remember originally I said I want to get the long. I had a long at 1877. I pulled that trade so that, here, let's stretch this out. I pulled this 1877 in favor of taking the 50-60 back to the long side, right? And then I missed my first scale here. If you look, I missed it by literally a tick. I think we went to 88.75, and then I get stopped right down here, 1 point below. But realize that it's a function of just shifting the strategy and following the decision process I had already made, right? If I was going to take this, I couldn't take this. I have to find a way to manage it, and this trade originally required a 10-point stop. I took this trade on a quarter size, didn't get my scale. And so here's the emotional process that I went through. First thing was an F-bomb for getting stopped. I was frustrated, right? I missed my first scale by a tick. Then I get stopped. Actually, the first time down, I got stopped to the tick. 250 contracts went off, and they weren't all mine, but it was a good chunk of contracts that went off to miss it by a tick. That was payoff. Here's where the 3 C's come back in. The clarity, commitment, and composure. So I could have gotten really pissed at 2 points. I could have gotten pissed that I got stopped here. I could have broke what I said, or even worse, gotten upset that I didn't take my trade there, because that's where I originally wanted it. If you recall, this morning was the 1877 was where I wanted the long to begin with, right? So by the time it got back up here, I had 2 choices psychologically. I could have said, damn, I knew I wanted the trade there and I didn't get filled, and thrown a fit or gone into fear and said, well, because if you think about it, I'm presenting to all of y'all, right? So I've already taken one stop. You kind of feel, at least from my side of the fence, that you lose a little bit of face, right? Even though I've been on an amazing run, it always comes up every time. It's a matter of ego, right? Then I didn't take the long from 1877, so I already am thinking in my head, well, damn, I told everyone 1877. I get stopped prior. It goes to 1877. I don't take it. It's already up, right? By the time we get the trap, it's already up a good 4 points, 5 points off of where I take the entry, right? And now I've got it. And now we've trapped back up into this right here, into this 1880 over there. And now I've said, well, this is where I'm taking the trade. You know, if I get stopped here, I'm going to feel like a total idiot. Now, those are all committee members going off in my head. If I don't conquer those committee members, if I don't have in my trading journal, which I have right here, if I don't go in my trading journal, these are the voices in my head. This is my counterbalance to those voices, and I just don't hang on to my trade plan with all my heart and all my mind, then I end up at a point where I don't get anything, right? What would have made me look the worst? If I didn't take this, and I didn't take this, and I took the stop here, and then it runs up for 20 points, yeah, that's officially you look stupid world in my book, okay? So the only thing that saved me here wasn't my thinking, wasn't my, if you consider me smart, it wasn't my smarts, and it wasn't my insight into whether the market was going to go up or down. I did feel that we have a lot of room on the upside, but the reason for that is because I trust my signal, right? I got a swing long signal here. I know 2 things. I don't want to be shorting when I get my swing long signal, and I want to press where? We've drawn it out over and over again. Entry number 4 is my highest odds trade. So it moved so fast that I think we closed at 81.50, and by the time I got over to the mouse, we got 80.50, long story short. So from 80.50, and then it just goes right back to process, right? 5, 10, 15 points up. After the second scale, you can either move your stop to net break even or net break even. Realize that net break even, your stop's still behind your entry, right? At 10 points. It's 7.5 points of scale. And so on balance, your stop is actually, your average prices move down as your scales come off as you're going up. All you have to choose from at that second stop is break even or net break even. Again, these are my scales. You have to adjust You have to adjust them to your own risk, right? And so now what do I have? Well, when I look at this picture and I look at this bigger picture, I still think, right, coming back to the chart, and don't forget I have the calls, the 1916 calls still, right? Well, I don't see a reason why we can't come back to 1924 or even come back here and retest 1950. Why is that? If you recall the homework that we did earlier while we were waiting for a trade setup, remember all of these. Let me see if I still have this. Well, here, we'll use this chart, right? So remember, well, I'm not going to go back and do it right now. I'll just kill everybody. But we looked at August 2011. Remember the market went down, right? But remember all the U-turns the market took on those days. About half those days, we closed near the highs. Okay, so my theory is this. Until I get a swing short, which I don't have a trigger for yet, right? I'm going to push this trade as far as it'll go. And if it comes back and stops me, so be it. But most likely, what happens, we just missed gap fill right here at 1974. We just missed it. So if we put this all on scale, if we looked 3 weeks ago, if we missed gap fill by a tick or two, that would have been extremely bullish, right? Usually you get responsive buyers. If we missed gap fill here by basically 1.5 points, maybe 2, right? Close enough for hand grenades in this environment. Look at all the everyone overcommits down here to the short side, right? Which I say don't short in the hole. And they're now, what are they having to do? They're scrambling to cover. And where's our stop? Almost all the way back, not quite, but all the way back down here in 1980. So whoever's going to get us is going to have to figure out a way to drive the market 20 points. Can it be done? Sure. Look at yesterday afternoon. We can peel off and push all the way back. The question right now is, since we know 50-60 is a natural rotation of things, where is the 50-60 right now? So right now 50-60 brings us to 1986. The shorts are going to have to work super hard to push through this 1986 to tag us out at the break even on our trailer. We've got 3/4 of the trade off, and if we can run the last quarter, who knows when we'll get a short signal, but that next short signal could come all the way up here at 1950 or 1960 or 1970, which was our upside target yesterday. We failed to get up there, but there's still that open gap at 1970, and it may sound crazy, but I think with the ranges we're having that it's possible. The other cool thing about it is we don't have to know whether it's going to get to 1970, right? What we do know is we followed process. We took our scales all the way up. We took our stop at the right place. We followed the trade plan, and that's all we're doing every single day, and the money's just following as a benefit of following the process. It's not that I had some special insight at 1877 or 1880 and saw, oh, we're going to run up to 1910 or 1950. My process triggered. I followed the process, and if you will get religion about that, a lot of money can be made. That's all I can say. And that's really a cool thing, because the problem with day trading is the boom-bust cycle. What keeps you out of the boom-bust cycle? Consistent process over and over and over again. So we're now up 25 points from the fourth trap, and I can't do better proof of concept than that, guys. So I hope that helped. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm going to run out and grab lunch. Nice job, Randy. That was a full-size trade for you. That's kick-ass. Let me see this. Great job, Jason. Congratulations. Thank you, Brian. Nice job. And it looks like everyone got paid there, so congratulations. That's freaking awesome. Does anyone have any questions? Now's the time, because I'm hungry. Let me kill this.